US Wadiai Odige, who is also a Labour Party chieftain, a traditionalist, and public affairs commentator, joining our show today this lovely Mother morning. Wadiai Odige, thank you so much for finding the time to be part of our show today, all the way from the US.
Good morning, how are you?
Awesome.
Good.
Okay. Recently, the issue about market leadership in Edo State came to the front burner with Mrs. Folashade Tinbu coming to Edo State, and it was said that she came to install IYALOJA of the markets in Edo State, and that, of course, brought a whole lot of issues out. During her visit to His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin, the revered monarch told her that this name or title has no place in the customs and tradition of Benin Kingdom as it relates to the leadership of the market, and that the market leadership, they are ancillary to the palace, and they also have to perform a whole lot of other things. And later on we heard that the title later changed to Iyeki, with a certain lady being installed as the leader of the market. Now, give me your perspective on how all of these issues evolved and the reactions that have trailed them, as it were.
Well, thank you very much. This is a very interesting time and interesting discussion. I'm going to look at it from two different angles. First and foremost, let me discuss the role played by the Benin Traditional Council. The first doctor of the president, the IYALOJA of Lagos State, sent an courtesy visit request to the palace. On the letter, there is every tendency that the purpose of that meeting was well stated. And the handlers of the palace, especially the secretary to the Benin Traditional Council, must have received the request. They know fully well the purpose why she was coming to Benin City or Benin Kingdom. And the council ought to have turned down the invitation, but they encouraged her to come. Upon arrival, and with a mindset of coming to install an illegal structure, why would the Benin Traditional Council allow them to come to Benin? If they had rejected or told her ab initio that this installation or coronation, whatever they want to call it, is alien to the Benin Kingdom, she wouldn't have had the effrontery to come to Benin. But she was encouraged for whatever reasons. So some people should also take a blame for what transpired. And to expect her to come and install, then at the 11th hour, while instructing her or directing her that what we are coming to do is illegal, I find it difficult to comprehend. So some people should take blame that next time she cannot just come to Benin because she's the first daughter of the president and the office she's occupying is illegal. It's unknown to our constitution, the office of the first daughter. We don't have such in our constitution. The office of IYALOJA. So they should vet invitation letter before approval. After all said and done, then the role played by the women. When they came, the palace, Enikao, and other council of chiefs, they were highly present and instructed while the Oba was sitting in council. Informed the woman that what you are about to do is alien. But because of stubbornness, because of her position as the office of the first daughter of the president, she insisted the Benin or the Benin kingdom will not tolerate any act of indiscipline.
Okay, now, Mr. Odigie, let me just pause you for a moment and interject a little bit. You kept on using the office of the first daughter of the president, and on one breath, and then on another, you're saying this is unknown to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Why do you keep, repeating that if it's unknown, like you've alluded to, in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? That's on the one hand. And then we have on good authority that the title has since been changed to Iyeki, which is what is, which is what is available in the Benin Kingdom, as it were. Doesn't this make sense to you at all?
Yeah, well, you see, changing the name in order to placate the Benin Kingdom is unacceptable. The mindset was to install the IYALOJA. Because of the controversy, or probably in order to placate the Benin Kingdom, they now changed the name to Iyeki. We have just one existing Iyeki. It has something to do with our tradition and our culture. A foreigner cannot come and impose or dictate to rocks. What I'm trying to say in essence is that the word, the office of the first lady, or the word, the office of the first daughter, or the word, the office of the first son, you know how carried away we are with, with titles in Nigeria. Let me cite an example. Recently, some Igbo chaps in Lagos wanted to install the Obi of Lagos. What happened? They were arrested because it was alien to them. We are obsessed with titles. You want to be Obi, you want to be a doctor, you want to be architect, you want to be this, you want to be that. Since it is alien and it was not acceptable in Lagos, why would she think that she can now come to Benin and do same? If you want to be the IYALOJA, if Lagos is your entitlement, if Lagos is your property, remain in Lagos. You don't come to Benin. Mind you, Benin Kingdom created or Benin Kingdom, colonized Lagos and named Lagos Eko. When the white man came, we allowed it to go without any resistance. We colonized Akure, we colonized Ondo, but we allowed it to go. So for you now to come and impose your own culture on another ethnic nationality because you are the daughter of the first, because you are the daughter of the president. If ordinarily I had sent an invitation to the palace for installation of IYALOJA, I don't think they would have approved it or granted the invitation. But because she has used the word before, I'm creating the office of the first daughter. We are creating the office of the first son. and probably they are going to create the office of the last son. It has become an issue in Nigeria. So we need to stop all this madness. If they will not condone such a behavior in Lagos, why would they now come to Edo State? I remember about 2 or 3 years ago, the Saraki, somebody from the north, wanted to come and install himself as the Saraki of Edo State. The man was stopped at the airport. So if they don't, so are they going to move from one state to another to go and do the Yonoloja or the Yeki of Ino Sokoto, to go and do the Yeki of Amikwara State, of Delta State, Anambra State? Absolutely no. It's Tinbu. Where are we going from here?
Okay. Let me just
So
bring you up to speed with a part of the conversation that maybe is not being given attention to in this discussion, which is that the person who was now made the leader of the market women, so to speak,
Yes.
is a Benin woman. Is there anything wrong with that as far as this whole conversation is
Absolutely.
concerned? It wasn't like the IYALOJA, Mrs. Folashade,
No.
Tinbu Ojo brought a Yoruba woman from Lagos and installed her in Benin as the IYALOJA or Iyeki. But we have on good authority that the person eventually that was made the leader of the market women in Edo State is a Benin woman from Edo Central. Does that change this conversation at all in any way?
Yeah, well, let me quickly tell you. You see, the nomenclature, whether you call it IYALOJA or the Iyeki, there is a procedure, a traditional process of installing or electing the Iyeki in Edo State. Oba is part of that process. The Iyeki is a representative of the palace. And the Iyeki that we know is elected among or chosen among the market women or the traders within that specific market. An outsider or a foreigner cannot just come and say, I'm going to impose mine. Who are you? It's unheard of. Who does that? So there is a process, and that process is being blessed by the Oba. 2, in our tradition, it is only one person in our kingdom that wears a crown. 2 persons cannot wear a crown in Benin Kingdom. Whoever the Iyeki has claimed illegally, has claimed the Josephine, if she wears that crown, and Benin tradition says one of them must die or be beheaded. So should Josephine wear that crown, then she will be prepared to bear the consequence.
Perspective to the whole conversation as far as this issue. But let's look at the broader side. We have this issue here now. What's your final take on what needs to be done to make amends or correct the anomalies? Because you are of the opinion that the approval for the courtesy visit, you have a challenge with that approval. Perhaps the issues were not properly articulated in terms of the intentions. But even at that, right before His Royal Majesty, all of those issues were addressed, with His Royal Majesty telling the IYALOJA that this intention is alien to Benin Kingdom. That should have been enough for someone who is perhaps sensitive to some very serious issues to take a cue and maybe backtrack. But what's your final take on this?
Yes, when you look at her background and the role the father played, I remember some time ago when the father went to a meeting of traditional council in Lagos. The Oni of Ife was sitting, and the father came in. I think the Oni of Ife stood up to go and greet the father. That is how they behave in their area. But the Benin, we are different. The Oba cannot go and stand up to go and greet an individual or a subject. It's not allowed. What I'm trying to say is that whatever transpired in the palace, and since the woman was approved for that visit, and the mindset she had was to come for the coronation of the Iyaloja of Edo State, irrespective of whatever now happened at the palace. Whether the Oba council advised her, she came and she said she was going to install the Iyaloja of Edo State. Mind you, here is the woman who is the doctor. To her, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. I'm going to do it anyway, irrespective of what the Oba says. So we should, in this moment, know that the Iyeki was illegally installed by the daughter of the president, is DOA, dead on arrival. It will never work.
Okay, now finally, what is the political dimension to all of these? Because I hear people say, well, this is connected to 2027.
Well, if you look at most of the appointees, the Josephine and all whatnot, those people that were present, they were all APC members. And the action was taken in order to benefit those party members. And whether they want to use it, because knowing fully well that the market women, they have a political block. And to compensate them, here is an opportunity for us to give them positions. But the resistance that they are getting from both the market women, from Edo people, and from Nikao, Josephine and others need to know that the action that was taken is dead on arrival, and should she parade herself as the Iyeke and wears the crown, there is a consequence to it. The market, those Iyeke of various markets, as appointed by Josephine, the Benin tradition says that their stores also will be destroyed, and should they resist, they be ostracized from the market or they be beheaded. So they should know the consequence. So right now, if people are trying to appeal to them to do the needful and stay clear from our markets, we will not allow anybody, irrespective of who you are, whether you are the president or whether you are the daughter of the president, to come to Edo Kingdom and stop. I mean, what happens after you leave? We are going to create another, political issues. Yes, granted. Two, when Okpebholo became the governor, I know the palace said, you are the choice of my ancestors. That has a political weight. I think they were thinking along that line, that or more, or the palace is one of us. We can do and get away with murder. There are things you do and there are things you don't do. Okay. Especially when you want to trample upon our tradition.
All right.
So next time,
I think basically you've said it all. Watai Odige, thank you so much for the views that you shared with us. But the issue of beheading is a bit anachronistic in terms of how modernity has taken over. Some of
there's no